Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I am so pleased today to be here with Terri Lee, Pure Visionary, and that is her name in her avatar. And welcome, Terri.
Thank you very much, Aley. My heart is filled with joy, I swear.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you being here. And I'm just going to say hello to those in the chat. Deb, I see you here. Jennifer, Butterfly Kisses Healing. I like that addition on there. Let's see who else is Jennifer. Did I say that? Ron. Hi, Ron. And I'm going way back here. Purple Elephant. I did say that. All right. Well, Sherry. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Lorraine, I know that you've seen Pure Visionary probably in a lot of your chat forums, and she is one of the nicest ladies. She was originally going to come on and work with me doing some medium stuff, but decided to wait until the right time. And I really applaud you for that because, you know, when you feel like it's the right time, then it's the right time. And you shouldn't have to go any sooner than that.
Yeah. Well, I was ready to jump in, but the guys,
guys, they're the boss. Sure. Yeah. As long as they don't tell you, like with Susan, that you can't eat any cheese, you're all set.
I couldn't handle that for sure.
I know. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So Andrea's here, and Gina, and Cartomancy and Vivian. I think some of these people were in your class, didn't in your psychic class? Yes. So isn't that great?
My color class as well.
And your color class as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you that Susan and Kim's classes are absolutely, I went to all of them myself. Some of the time I was not able to go, unfortunately, but watched the repeat, which isn't quite the same, but it was okay. And it really opened me up quite a bit. And, I felt very grateful for that. So I'm
definitely
so happy.
Feel like my abilities and my aura have expanded since meeting those two beautiful teachers.
I agree with that.
Good. They're
They are very compassionate and loving and caring. And I'm so happy that so many people have taken the time to work with them because I really think it makes a difference. Hi, Mary Thornberry. I'm glad to see you. What a day. Spectacular. Absolutely. It is a beautiful day, except the wind here in off the water here in Washington, I think was 40 or 50 miles an hour this morning. And I took the dogs out and we were all walking like we were drunk, but anyway, no one was seeing us, so we were okay. So let's dig it back into some of your background, Terri.
Okay.
Have you always been interested in spiritual teachings?
Yes.
I guess you have. Okay.
Born a little girl in Twin Falls, Idaho.
Okay.
And my mom was extremely committed Christian.
Okay.
Christian woman. My father was had an alcohol problem, so it was a pretty traumatic.
Sounds it.
But going to church was my thing. I mean, that was the tribe, and that was the family, and I sang in the choir, and my mom used to tell me that after church I would come home and preach to the relatives that were gathered there for Sunday supper, and then pass the plate.
That's funny. So you've been on the stage from the little girl time. Good for you. So that isn't so bad.
It's interesting. I was a very shy little girl, but always interested in spiritual things. I remember sitting on the front porch with my big sister talking about eternity. That's one of my first memories, and I think I was like 3 or 4 years old.
Oh my goodness!
I would hear things in church and be drawn to them, and really wanted to be one,
right.
Those who loved. And as I grew older, that kind of changed. I had a strong hunger for, as I aged, I got into science fiction, and I loved, all kinds of authors, and Isaac Asimov, and it stretched my imagination enough so that I could see and feel things that were beyond my little tiny world.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I was 13, we moved to Seattle.
Oh, had no idea. Okay. All right.
Big culture shock.
I bet.
Huge. I can
I
still
bet.
remember to this day the girl telling me, now, if you're going to go to this school, we have the socias, we have the greasers, and we have the nerds. And you're going to have to decide what group you're going to
Oh,
belong to.
dear.
I remember just going home going, oh, my God. And I definitely chose the nerds and
Good for you. Good
really
for you.
enjoyed myself. So it's been a journey. And I kind of came out of the church beliefs, and I don't want to say how. It was just I felt a vibe in a church I was attending, and I didn't like it. It was it was not a vibe of love. It was
just
not.
doesn't feel right. Yeah.
So I kind of grew out of that, but continued my spiritual curiosity and journey, and so that included, like many, Wayne Dyer, and of course Esther and Jerry, and just everything began to grow and change in my understanding of things. And I'd always had this thing, even though I left the church, I always talked to God. It was,
direct line.
The Creator, and eventually, I came into doing a lot of sports like snowboarding and wakeboarding. One of my favorite things when I went wakeboarding was you're out there in the water, you're out in the mountains around you, and you're holding on, and then you get ready to say, hit it. And I'd always say, let's go, God.
I love it.
I felt like I was taking him with me,
Yeah, because he is inside us. So yes,
powerful,
of course.
Powerful stuff. And I've gone through, a lot of things that really, took me to some hard places. But it's always been there for me, and I've always grown and expanded and learned after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
There
wasn't as much available, let's say, in the 70s, 80s, maybe in the 90s, things got much more available. Meaning that, bookstores, new age shops, places like that. Before they were head shops, that's what they were called. And you'd go in and it was all this marijuana paraphernalia. But
there was a good book or two in there sometimes.
There's a couple of them. Yeah, that's right.
Of course,
that's right. Absolutely. So you also were interested in tarot at some point, I'm guessing. Yes. Okay.
So what happened was I suffered a big loss, and people read me, so I'm not going to say what it was, but it was a big loss, big painful loss. And as I came through, the spirituality carried me through that. And then I felt like something was going to happen. I was a photographer, had worked in that, and had performed in a few bands, and so life was exciting, but nothing ever really clicked. And I came to this pause. It just kind of stopped, and then 2020 came.
Yeah.
So, and then I began to see people read tarot, and I went, "Oh, that's a tool. That's a tool I can use." So I totally got into that, and of course, all the great readers that we have out there that just blow you away, Lena and Marianne, and and
so you've been here a while in this community doing this, listening and
listening and watching, and Lori at Intuitive Way, is that what it's called? Lori.
Oh, Way of Positive Change.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
And she's one of the best readers to teach, because she really, she shows you the card. She's just a wonderful spirit. I really enjoy her so much.
She's very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So that's, that was added into the pot. And then, so I was cruising along with that. And I was getting ready to go on a trip. We camp a lot. We go in the mountains. And so I was getting ready to go on a trip. And right before then, there's a wonderful festival held in Sun Valley every year, end of June, and it's a wellness festival. And the wellness festival is so much fun. Amazing speakers, lectures. They have a beautiful park where you can go out and shop for books or jewelry and that sort of thing. And for years, I'd gone to this, and there's an amazing astrologer named David Pond. I would love to go hear him, because he would present the astrological information, but then he would always have a message of hope, and here's what's going to happen, and here's how we can deal with it. Here's how we can move through this,
Yeah.
When he comes into town, into Sun Valley for his lecture, he gives readings. And I tried 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 for years. And this year I called and I said, hey, does David have any openings? And yeah, he's got a couple openings. I'm like, yes. So I finally got to go have a private reading with him. And it was the most amazing thing. It was like, I love astrology. I've always followed that as well. And he sort of introduced me to myself, and that's kind of an interesting thing, you know.
Yes.
He was really right on, and let's see how to say. I know that everybody is psychic, and everybody's born psychic. You can develop those abilities. It is a sure thing. But he happened to look me in the eye and say, "Your chart shows me that you have psychic abilities." And then he explained it to me and showed it to me, and I was like, "Wow, really, psychic?" You know, I knew I was spiritual. I knew I talked. I heard voices, and I talked to guides. But I was like, "Wow, it was like amazing! What an amazing reading!" So after that, I was getting ready to go in the mountains, and I had just tuned in to Susan and Kim and saw that they had a class coming up. And I thought, I don't know. I got to think about this. So I went to the mountains. And while I was there sitting on the beach, I just felt like I heard a voice saying, you're going to be in those classes. You need to sign up right now. And I'm like, I'm got to go get into cell service. I'm way out in the mountains, right? We did. We got in the car, went for breakfast. I said, now's the time. And I signed up. And then I got back home and went, these are psychic medium classes, Terri.
Yes.
Yeah, it sort of hit me like, oh, okay. All right. You know, and I remember the first day of class, I kept making this face. It's like, we're going to do what? Okay. But they're wonderful teachers. I mean, they just really laid it out, pure and simple, non-judgmental. The tribe there is so amazing. So
very supportive group there. Yes, absolutely.
So I took a leap, and I'll never forget the beautiful woman, the first beautiful woman I got to read. Bless her heart. I tuned in. I've got my labradorite heart, and I always hold that. That's my thing.
Okay.
And I just closed my eyes, and I was just like, oh, don't let me screw up, right? And then I zoomed in, and I said a name, and it's not a name I'm familiar with, or I would have made up. And and she said, that's my father. He passed away 2 weeks ago. And I was like frightened. She went, and I went, like, oh.
Wasn't quite ready for that one yet. Yeah.
And I just calmed myself down and tuned into the love. That's the trick.
That's it.
If you look at someone that you're going to read or communicate with, and when I go to class, I look at all those faces on the screen, and I just love those people. Just send that love out. And so I caught my balance and sent that love out to her. And her father had a message for her. And I was like in shock for several days. Just like, wow, I spoke to someone on the other side.
No, I've had the same thing happen. What was really strange was I took the psychic class first, then the medium class. But by taking the psychic class, I was only in it for like 2 or 3 times, maybe 3 at the most. And all of a sudden, I was just the facilitator of Susan doing readings for people on my channel on Sundays. All of a sudden, I started seeing things, you know. I haven't been able to practice as much, and I have lost a little of that confidence, but my cards helped me out a lot. But yes, I understand, because 2 people that I did practice with gave me wonderful validation, and I gave them one because it was true. I mean, it was spooky but real.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get Trekkie now. I do. I feel like we're all like space explorers. I mean, that's the thing. We're all just stretching and learning, and some of the exercises just, I'm like, what? And then we do it, and some of them I fail, some of them I really get, and it's just a
It's
wonderful
all
teacher.
about trust, and it's all about really listening to the voice the first time. Like you said, you didn't know that name before, but you said the
Yeah,
name because that's what you heard. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We
That-
get so accustomed to wanting to see something concrete, especially me as an educator. I don't
oh
want
yeah.
to make a mistake when I'm teaching, so I have to get all my ducks in a row, and I don't need to do that really with this, but I need to still I still have that mind going, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and then well, I've developed. Well, I think my guides gave it to me. But if I start to get mind involved, I picture a windshield wiper
Okay.
wiping the mud. So sometimes I'll actually do that during a reading. I'm like, okay, just a minute.
Windshield wipers. Yep. Oh my God, that's a perfect way of clearing it. Yes, they're going across your third eye and
Yeah,
your other eyes. Yeah. Oh my God, that's a great one. I
yeah.
love that,
And
Terry.
that's the
Yeah.
thing as we expand, we hear our guides more, and then they're able to help us more. And so,
Right.
real
Right.
journey, a
Real
journey.
journey.
Yeah.
That's right. Did you have any concerns during your time as you were growing within the last 2 years above 45? Did you also come here to get any validation or get your own validation by others? Yeah.
Wow, 4 years of interesting growth. I
Oh,
mean,
is that's a one way of looking at it?
well,
Yeah.
once I got past the fear, right? Once I got past the fear, but
Uh-huh.
I had my system of what I called mute and salute, and
Okay. Gee, you ought to copyright all these things. This is great.
it got me through though. I just, turn it off
Uh-huh.
and mute and salute
Yep.
and walk by the TV. And, occasionally I would burst out and, not be able to
Yes.
control myself. But as we went on, yes, having that guidance from the readers and
Yes.
the psychics who were out there and the astrologers who were out there
Absolutely.
really
Yeah.
helped you kind of, start to chart your own course through
Right.
it. Right.
Yeah.
And now I've had this amazing change, which happened. Oh gosh, I think it happened throughout this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I prior to all of this, I did get the feeling that I could be a light worker. And so I would,
Oh,
because I wake up at 4 a.m.
there
every
you go.
morning,
Mm-hmm.
might as well make good use of that time, right?
I might as well. It's quiet.
So, and then one day I just paused and went, I'm gonna look up the definition of light worker because we all say it gets thrown around, but
Mm-hmm.
what's the exact definition? And of course there are probably several, but it's one who seeks to observe everything in the light of God. And
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah.
that stopped me. I went, okay, no more mutant salute. You're gonna have to see that soul in the light
Right.
of and understand that God created that soul,
Right.
and it's hard because I'm really an empath too. And it's hard because I know all of us out there have been feeling the pain that
Yes.
people are going through. It's intense. And that's what those prayers at 4 a.m. were, many of them were about. And,
Okay.
I love the way the Buddhists step back, observe it, pray about it, bless it,
That's right.
send it on its
And
way.
move on. Let it go.
Realize
Yeah.
that if you continue to hold that pain in your heart, then you're continuing their pain. You're just
Absolutely.
bouncing that energy back and forth. And
Yeah.
what you
And
need
it's
to do,
hurting you. It's hurting
yes,
you. Right.
yes. So
Absolutely.
you have to
Mm-hmm.
release that and embrace that spirit of love and then send them that love. So now
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
was
a lot of the
thinking,
reason why I always do this to people,
yes,
because I am a Buddhist, even though I'm not Buddhism is a philosophy. So I'm not like a church going Buddhist, but I have gone to a Buddhist temple before. But I
wonderful.
absolutely love all their philosophies and the Taoist philosophies as well. They're
Yes.
just so beautiful. They really are.
Yes. Yes. We can incorporate that. So
Yeah,
much of what all those have to give to us,
absolutely.
find
You
our
can be
way.
a Christian and a Buddhist at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, this light of observing in the light of God. So the other day, I found my mind wandering to Mansion because he's a stupid
Yes.
and
Mucking up things. Yeah.
and I had a little download, and it was like, you're a powerful being. you know what spiritual energy is. Why
Yeah.
don't you send him a little message? You know, like, Joe, you might consider, they have free choice, right? But you might
Right.
consider the possibilities of the good you could do in this world if you would just look a little more towards helping the people
Hmm.
instead of, whoever it
Right.
is taking care of him. And so, that I started to go, wow, that seems really weird, but I don't think it is. I
No, it
don't,
isn't. Can you
I think
imagine if everybody did that?
I, that's what's
Yeah.
happening. I think
I think you're right.
we're
Yes.
experiencing a spiritual phenomenon where we're all being allowed to advance pretty quickly, I
Pretty
think.
quickly. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're given this opportunity at these times on the planet because it's much needed, you
It
know?
is. And I think
And
we all agreed to come here before all this happened. We knew what was going to happen.
don't
Yeah.
you love it? I
Yeah, I
love it.
know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's that journey that continues to feed and give me better relationships with my guides and father, mother, God, creator,
Right.
and learn these new things, because once you kind of start walking in this and practicing with Kim and Susan, I feel like my aura is expanded. So like
Oh, sure.
I go
Yeah.
about my day and it's like I feel the trees, I hear the birds. You live
Isn't it
it, it,
awesome? I
yeah,
understand what you're talking about. I absolutely do.
good.
And you'll find that if there are really negative people, but you aren't, and you move into their energy, they either back up, and I don't mean,
Yes.
I don't mean that, like we're distancing socially, but your aura is big. So they
Yes.
back up and they kind of go like take a turn or something like that, or else you say something comes out of your mouth like, how are you today? I do that
Yeah.
at the grocery store and people are like, I don't know you, but then they're like, hi. But
Yeah.
it's all of
Yeah.
that. It's like you can tell who wants to integrate and who wants
Yes.
to just be
Yes.
dissipated. Yeah.
Yes. And you can
Mm-hmm.
be standing in a grocery line. Everybody's waiting, everybody's tired, and you look over and you see a little child and that little
Uh-huh.
glint, little spark of God in their eye, and you play peekaboo with them, and just always looking for an opportunity. Spirit will
Yeah.
give it to you if you're looking.
Spirit will. It will.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with animals. I don't always say hi to the owners as I'm walking by, but I always say, hi, baby, how are
Yeah.
you? Most of the time, the people smile and say, oh, look. Some people just, move
Yes.
on, but that's okay. I'm giving the baby light.
Yes.
uh,
It's beautiful.
that's awesome. I agree with you 100%. I think that we can uplift those around us, or if people don't want to be uplifted. When I was working with my husband, we were in a very negative area, and we were in a negative area of town. We were a negative area that people brought in there. It was a storage place, and we lived there, and it was awful. And there were prostitutes that would come and park in the I mean, it was just a mess.
Yeah.
And that place, we just had a little bit of light, the two of us at that time. This was about 2003. And
Mhm.
that whole thing changed before we left. And I was really happy that it was good changes. I
Yeah.
was a little worried when I left because I felt like, oh, it might go back to the way it was before, but that's not my problem. I could see it. And I know there weren't that many spiritual people there.
You
So I
planted the
really think
seed.
yeah.
You did.
It's your,
You planted.
it's your, it's your intention. That's what it
Yes.
is. It's your intention. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
speaking of seeds,
Yes,
I I would like to read something. Is that okay?
absolutely. Yes.
And I'll give you a little background on it. I had a physical condition uh, during 2020. It wasn't COVID, but because there were no services in the hospitals, I had went to my doctor, and he's like, I don't know, we're
Yeah.
gonna try this, we're gonna try that, and I was meeting my husband up. He had taken the grandkids to the river, and I was going
Okay.
to meet them with the dogs and all that chaos and fun. And
Uh-huh.
so I'm thinking, man, I'm going to have to do some metaphysical stuff here. This is all that's left right now.
Right. Right.
And I got to the river and I saw them, and my heart just soared. And I sat down. I was getting ready to wade in the river, and I sat down and I looked at this. I was guided to this rock, and there was a crack in the rock and a little tree growing out of it. And Spirit said to me, this is the life force. You can tap into this force of life, the source, the force, And wow, okay. Yeah, thank you very much. It just, I
Yeah, it's a
shut it up
gift.
and shut it back.
Uh-huh.
Well, I did a meditation yesterday,
Okay.
and it was so powerful. I cried. It was just
Oh,
really,
wow.
really good. And so sometimes I do channeled writing, and
Okay.
they started to talk to me, and I grabbed my book and said, okay. And so what I was contemplating was the amazing synchronicity and power in this spiritual phenomenon that's happening right now. It's
Okay,
amazing.
good.
The people
Yes.
that are coming forward and the messages that are there. And I was like,
Mhm.
wow, Spirit, this is just unreal. And then my guide said, unreal? No, this is the real.
Be real.
And I grabbed my book because I thought, uh-oh, here comes
Yeah.
something. So, you don't mind? I'd like to share.
No, of course not. No, go
Okay.
ahead.
Unreal? No, it is the real. You are a child of the universe. You are the light that bounces off the stars. You are the song the birds sing. Your heart beats with the rhythm of the waves. You are the lightning that strikes the earth and renders a great hole in the rock. You are the rain that washes the hole with life. You are the seed that blows in the wind and finds a home within the rock. And with the power of the life force, you emerge forth to reach the sun. You reach for the sun. You are the tree within the rock, reaching for the sun, reaching for the stars, reaching through the veil. You are loved beyond measure. And I was told that message was for everyone that was listening today. So I hope that touches you, because
Absolutely.
isn't it beautiful?
Now
I
you
think
make me
that's
cry.
oh, Aley,
That was beautiful. It was. It was gorgeous. It really was. Thank you. I got goosebumps.
And that's my only desire through doing all of this.
Yeah.
I just want to be a conduit of energy. I just want to be that vessel. And so everyone in our group can feel that and share that, and we can have fun.
It is. And I was telling Terry earlier that apparently last night on Nasty Women, Arlene McMahon spoke about a very spiritual experience that she had, and she's going to be having a channel. And I don't want to take away from this with Terry, but I just, get it. If you get a chance, please watch at least the beginning of that show. It will blow you away. It was unbelievable. So,
Definitely.
and this was beautiful. Thank you, Terry. Thank
Absolutely.
you. We all need to remember that we are all loved, and we are all, every one of us, a part of this universe and universal energy. I love the tree being born out of the rock. I mean, that imagery is.
They just tied that right back to that experience, and I was like, oh my God, it was so cool and so meaningful. And the fact that I was thinking about all of us when this message came, and I was like, okay.
And that, so it was. It will be for all of us here, and it will be for those who listen later.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, it's a timeless message. Thanks, everybody. You're so sweet. It just blew me away. It was. You can do that anytime. You can come on anytime and read your messages until your own channel's up.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Terry is going to be putting her own channel up, and she's allowing herself time because that's the way she operates. She's working on it. She's building it. And when she builds it, you can come.
When I build it, you will come.
You will come. And it will be Pure Visionary. That will be the name of it. Yes.
Yeah, can I briefly tell you the story of that?
You may definitely tell us the story.
Do we have time?
Of course we do.
Okay. I was a photographer. I'd done many things in my life, but the most recent was a photographer, and I had a business. I called it Pure Vision Studios, thinking that I was going to have studios all over the world.
Oh.
That didn't happen.
Okay.
But I did find some success at it, and I loved it. And when it came time for me to think, okay, so things are going to have to change, and I'm changing my photography website just to be artistic. I'm not going to, go out for any contracts or anything like that anymore. So came time to name things. And so all my emails are set up as Pure Visionary. And I was like, I can't use that. That sounds kind
Oh,
of
yes, you can.
And then they're like, what they said to me is, that's been your name all along, little girl. And we knew this was coming, and this is what it is. And so I'll be researching and expressing what I'm going through, and I think we're all going through, and it's a pure visionary life. Right. It's something that we haven't experienced before, and our vision, spiritual vision, is being expanded. So I'm just going to have so much fun with it. I can't wait.
I find it fascinating that both you and Susan Lynn were photographers.
I know. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is. And so, because I'm a metaphor freak, because I'm an English teacher, the idea of a lens, you look through life through one lens, and you can look through another lens. There's different lenses for each thing. Yeah. And of course, vision is definitely seeing, but I mean extrasensory seeing as well, and with 3 eyes. Yes. So it's a perfect name. Yeah. It really is.
Okay, good. Well, it's going to work.
I think so. So I want you all to know that when she does have her page up, I will announce that on my community channel and a link to it so that you can all know and go check it out. Because I think sometimes it's hard to find people, and so it's helpful to have somebody else.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Yes, and look at this, Terry. You will be great on your channel.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you will have your. That's the thing. I was told by an astrologer many years ago. You will come into your own when you're older, in your 60s, and they said, and you will be working from home, but people will be able to see you all over the world. And this was in the 80s or the early 90s, and I'm like, right, how is that going to happen? In the old days. At the same time, they told me I'd be married 4 times, and I was on my 3rd marriage, and it wasn't really
wow, it's amazing.
Wasn't something I wanted to manifest at that time, but actually they were right. So
yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate that.
Oh. Yes, isn't that nice? Yes,
the support of this community is
amazing.
Pure love. Yeah,
absolutely
beautiful.
Yes. So. Hello, Visual Arts Lawson. And Linda, thank you for what you said. And hello, Shield Maiden. And anybody that I missed. Hi, Anne Marie, Angel Star.
Oh, she likes my Labradorite.
Oh, yeah. Look, I got this. I got to show you what I got today.
Okay. Let's show and tell. Let's do it.
All right. This I ordered 2 months ago. And it's Labradorite. And it came. Oh, look at that. That's crazy. It came in from China. So it, sometimes it takes a few weeks, but this was 2 months. Yeah. Wow. But I got this huge Labradorite for like $20.
No, you did not.
Yeah. If you order from China, you can get pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'll check that out.
Yeah. And you know who has a beautiful Labradorite is Jean Alabri. She has one she sleeps with. It's like this tall.
This one's right next to my bed at night, and whenever I read, it's in my hands.
It's in your hands.
Yeah.
Labradorite is a beautiful piece of material. It really is. Yeah.
It is. I'm very much into crystals.
Shield Maiden says, I was told that when I was 29 years ago, but I'm in my early 50s. So you were told when you were 29 that you would be coming into your own. Oh, that's really cool, Shield Maiden.
It is, it is really cool. And by the way, tomorrow I complete my 67th trip around the sun.
Congratulations. Are you still a Libra then?
I'm a Libra.
You are. Okay.
I'm a Libra with, let's see, my moon's in Virgo, and the sun touching Neptune. And I can't remember it all, but.
Okay. We have a lot of Libras. Well, of course, it's Libra season, but happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's wonderful.
Oh, God, Libra season. That's funny.
It is. It's Libra season. We love most of us love the autumn, and this is just what I live for. Leaves and pumpkins and cool, crisp air and trees that are colorful. And anyway,
where you are, it is gorgeous. I love the San Juan Islands. We used to vacation.
It's very pretty. It is. Yeah. I just wish that I had everything all together in one place, but that's okay. At least I got internet here at home. I live in the sticks, and it's very iffy, which is like you had to get, the higher powered cell service.
Sometimes it's nice to be off grid.
I understand. No, I do. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, she will open her channel, and at the same time, we'll be offering different kinds of readings. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in that, she does tarot, I know. I'm guessing you'll probably offer also some psychic readings or medium. I don't know.
Mediumship. Excuse me. Mediumship, guides, messages from guides and angels. I can also do the channeled writing like I just read.
Yes.
Special message coming there. And I almost called it, pure visionary psychic smorgasbord.
That's a tongue twister.
Smorgasbord. But because I don't want to be pinned down. I don't want to be pinned down. There's all kinds of tools that we have. And, I love the cards. I really do. And I like to keep that apart. And it's so fun to be able to come, like we were practicing the other day. And so they didn't give us any direction in our readings. And I met up with another classmate and we're like, what do we do? Let's do the cards. And so we got the cards out. And that was a great learning experience as well.
It is. Or the pendulums, or I love the runes. I really like the Tao Te Ching, although that's not a divination, but I also like the I Ching. So yes, I really do. Yeah.
Excellent.
A lot of people wishing you a happy birthday here.
Oh, hey. Thanks.
Yeah.
I can feel that energy.
And MJ Squadio Data says that 54 was a productive year. She'll complete her 68th, 7th trip in December.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I want you to know that most of us were all in high school together, just in separate buildings.
Isn't that amazing?
I always say that, somebody will say, did you go to high school with me? I said, no, but I went at the same time you did. Yeah. So we have a lot in common. We really do,
Well, we had a pretty good time to come to planet Earth. We kind of.
I know. It is. I would have missed the music too much if I hadn't been here. Yeah, because I'm born in 55. So yeah, I'm right in there with you guys. And I love all of them. I like the 60s. I like the 70s. I like the 80s, the 90s. Yeah. But, I like all that. And countries, Ron, you're right. And countries. Yes. Yeah. Because we were in he lives in Canada. So but we were still all at school at the same time. Yes. Oh, yeah. Different buildings, different countries.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know.
It
is crazy. It is
we
crazy.
all prior to arriving on this planet, like, hey, let's go down at this special time.
Let's have a party. Yes.
Really cool stuff. And then we're all going to come together on this spiritual adventure.
I know. And we thought that if things hadn't happened for us by the time we were 24, that we were just going to have a hell of a life, But actually, I know. Yeah. A lot of us got married really early. I did. Nowadays, people would say 22 for me. The first time I got married was young. But my mother seemed to think that was the time you get married anyway. That's when she got married, My brother and sister-in-law were 18 when they got married because he was in Vietnam. Yeah. Yeah. So, and there were a lot of people having babies and all that stuff early, So, yes.
I was 22 when I got married as well. So.
Were you? Okay. Yeah. I know.
And that was way too young. It really was.
It was. I wasn't prepared. And I certainly wasn't prepared for having a daughter or a child. I just didn't seem to think about it. And then I realized, I have no way out of this. I have to give birth to this baby. And I remember turning to my dad at some point and saying, Dad, take me home. I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, well, dear, you did lie in that bed and you did make your own bed, Oh dear. Oh. So I always ask everybody this question because this isn't a resilience email. I'm sorry, show, but it is at the same time because we're asking similar questions and we're getting similar answers.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Andrea was 22 when she got married.
Ah, we all took the leap.
Oh, okay. Visual Arts Lawson. Millicent asked me to. Happy birthday to
Oh my
you.
God.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my
And
goodness.
many more.
Thank you all. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect all this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Linda, you were born 9 years before. Where does it put you? As a really wise elder. And
Yes.
I love you for it. My brother is 9 years older than me as well. And my favorite singer of all time, Freddie Mercury, was born in 1946. So God bless you.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, 22 was Jalicia. We were really stupid. Don't blame us. That was the norm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Millicent. Thank you.
Oh, so the question.
What are you most in need of? What are you in need of from this particular community, if anything? Or what do you feel like? Well, you've given us what you believe your contribution is. I don't know. Anything else, I guess, that you want to say about that?
I would appreciate you to come join me in the journey and expand with me. Let's do it together. Let's share all the experiences we're having. Let's give each other messages. Let's just continue this wild.
Absolutely.
What a ride, man. What a ride. This is great.
It is a ride. It is. And I think it also shows us that no matter how much older we are or get, or that it just doesn't matter. You can start something like I think of Grandma Moses, right? When she was painting, she was like near 100 or 90 or something.
Yeah.
And then I think of William Shatner going up in the.
Oh, did you not love that?
I loved it. I did.
Trekkie, so I was like.
I am too.
I was on the moon. Yeah.
That's really moved him. And I think it was great Bezos let him do that. I mean, I do too. I just, yeah. It really was. It was going full circle for sure for him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, as you're older, I always admired people. As I was growing up, I always thought, wow, I wish I had been that person that always knew they were going to be a dancer or always knew they were going to do this or that. And I went in so many journeys and so many directions, and so many things happened to me. Life was good and then horrible things happened, and back and forth. And I got to this point, I was like, why at my age now is this happening? Why didn't it happen a while ago? Or what's the deal with the timing? And the message I got back was, you have experiences and you've gone through things that you can share with other people.
That's right. That's right. And knowledge is taking something and learning about it, and wisdom is knowing how to transmute the knowledge to other people to help them and you.
Yeah. And continue to learn together. Because when I stop learning, get out the shovel. That's
me. Yep. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And if I can't, I actually tell my students each term, I'm here to teach you, but I'm here to learn too. So would you please teach me? And some of them don't get what that means, but I really do believe I can learn from everyone. I don't care who it is. Yeah.
So things I learned from my grandchildren.
Oh yeah.
So amazing.
Oh wow. They're just wise little things, aren't they? At the small. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's really wonderful. They're all telling when they graduated. You guys, I graduated in 73. So I see 1979, 1980. Okay.
Awesome.
I know. But age is relative. There are people in here that are a lot younger, and I'd love to learn what your experience was as well, because we didn't go to school when you did, and we didn't process life the same way. Yeah.
Not only my grandchildren, my daughters school me a lot.
Uh-huh.
They school me a lot. They're very,
They did.
very wise.
Mine did. My children did too. They did. But then again, I've always been that crazy person who tries to keep up with, the music and all that stuff
Yeah.
with the younger kids, so that I'm not, but without sounding like a hokey old lady trying to be hip. I don't want to be that either. But
yeah, I get it.
Uh-huh.
I get it.
Oh, great! 1964, 1969. Awesome. My brother would have graduated in 64, but he went to Vietnam. So he didn't. And he went 3 times. He came back. Thank God.
Wow.
78. Okay. Yeah. Wow. We're all within 10 years this way and 10 years that way.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. It's wonderful. Yeah. Or our children, like my daughter's 44. I have her, and my son is 37. They don't have kids. They have dogs, and they're my granddogs.
Yeah. I have granddogs too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. Oh yes, Sherry, you did say you were born in 61. That's awful. Oh yes.
Terri?
Yes. In 1970 visual arts. Okay. We went to different. Is a phrase your husband taught you? Yep. I know. You got to keep this baby, and that baby doesn't go away after 18. Mom, I need some money. Can you help me out? They're with us forever, even though I'm not. It's not always a bad thing, of course. But yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah. Well, so Jalecia was born in 1969. That was a really good year.
That was a good year.
Wow. I loved that year. I was in high school, and I had the best time. That's when I named myself Aley. I took my name and put it together. Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's Alice Lee. Nice. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What you got on tap? Let's see. What can we talk about? Let's talk about past lives.
Okay, let's talk about past lives.
I had a very interesting experience when we read Past Lives. Was it in the color class? Yes, color class.
Okay.
And at first I thought, once again, intimidating, right?
Yep.
And but I'm a fan of Anita Morjani, and she has the book Dying to Be Me.
And, oh yes, I've read that.
Yeah. And so she describes being crossing over, and then this is the best description I've ever heard of past lives ever. I'm standing in front of an apartment building built out of glass, and I look inside and I see all of my lifetimes happening at once. It blew my mind. It just blew my mind.
Isn't that what they say about just different timelines or something like that?
Yes.
That
always blew my mind, thinking, well, how can everything happen all at once? I mean, if you're being expanded and you're learning, don't you take that and you'll go to the next life?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't pretend to know, but when she gave me that description, it so helped me when I went into trying to help people read their past. And I don't know. I don't want to say any names or anything, but I went into this one room with this one beautiful lady. Oh my God, she's beautiful. And as she's reading me, I'm kind of like looking at her, and all of a sudden I see her in a nun's habit. And I'm like, a nun's habit? Oh my goodness. Okay. And then I quickly went into something else where I saw her in Egypt, and she was a very important man, and she was, let's see how it went. It went that they were consulting this person on how to build a temple, because he was a very spiritual and powerful man.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing this while she's reading me, and then she goes, okay, and you're ready to read me? And I'm like, oh. I said, well, I see you as a nun. I saw above and looked down and saw her surrounded by nuns at her passing. It was powerful.
Right.
And she goes, okay. And then I said, I see you as this Egyptian man setting up this temple. And so then she goes, okay. She goes, well, the nun part's a no-brainer. I'm like, really? She said, her mom was a nun.
Oh.
And she grew up being educated by nuns, and her mom left, and now she's back at the monastery. And I was like, wow, confounded. That was amazing, right?
Yeah.
And then she said, I've always had a love of Egypt, And I recently had a DNA test, and I do have Egyptian DNA.
Wow.
And she said, I was always fascinated with the pyramids and Egyptian architecture. And I was like, that is just wild.
Wow.
So
Yes, I think the things we really love can tell us some of the lives we've lived.
I believe
I
that
agree
too.
with that completely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do. It's a fact.
So,
We
but
can
I blew my sixth grade teacher away, and the kids in the class laughed, and my mother said no. They said, "Who would you like to meet one day and write about that?" Well, I wanted to meet Abraham Lincoln. That's who I wanted to meet, and so I wrote that.
cool.
And everybody's like, "He's dead. Well, you're stupid," and all this stuff, And I'm like, okay, that doesn't mean I still don't want to meet him, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, yeah. So, and I always had an affinity for Abraham. I thought
Yeah.
maybe I was the little girl that told him to grow a beard. I don't know. There was a little girl that told him to grow a beard. So maybe it was me. Don't know.
No. You have these relationships. I think you have relationships too with, I don't know, certain people that you pick up on. And then let's see if I can describe it. I would always be like on top of the mountain, Bald Mountain, Sun Valley. What have you? And I would look out and see all these mountains, and I'd be like, okay. And for some reason, I had Jimi Hendrix. If 6 Were 9 was on my playlist, right? And so I'd look up and I go, all right, Jimmy, let's ride. And since I was an old person and it didn't matter, I would sing it. I'd go past people like, if the sun. But I've always had this thing where I talk to him, and I don't know why, but we have to pay attention to those little things we do because it kind of gives us a hint as to the fact that our lives are much bigger than we think they are.
They are bigger. Yeah. And it could be that, you were maybe in one timeline supposed to meet him, or who knows what,
Well,
I think that way about Mercury,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I did almost go to his concert. I ended up going to Janis Joplin instead.
Oh.
And
well, they're both dead, so at least you got one out of two.
I talked to him. Well, I believe Abraham through Esther says that you can communicate with people alive and dead. You can do that. You can
higher self.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
I agree. Andrea said it's helpful to remember past lives to apply to our life today. Yeah. I agree. I remember 2 lives that helped me, she said, in terms of blocks that she has today. Very and good. I had that happen. I'm having the wonderful Robert Brunges come on Saturday. I don't know if it's this next Saturday, this Saturday, I think. And Anne Marie from Angel Star Karma is coming with him. He did a reading for me in the Akash, and two lifetimes stood out really prominently. But the one that really blew me away, well, there was one that explained my fear of fish. I have a terrible fear of fish.
Really?
And apparently I was a fisherman, and the fish were not good for people to eat. And so a lot of people died, and they blamed me for it. That's what, that was that. So I just have to work through that. But the other one, oh my God, he told me that I was an Essene. And I don't know if you're familiar with the sect of Essenes, but they were around during biblical times. Yeah. And they wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls, and there's all kinds. Yeah. Wow. And that made me feel really, because I was always fascinated with Dolores Cannon's work. And she wrote that book about Jesus and the Essenes. Yeah. So good. Yeah. It was. It's really worth it. It's so much fun. Wow. You were born on February 12th? Aha. That was Abe's birthday, Mary. Yeah. Cool. That's really cool. It is cool. Yeah. If you like, Linda, if you like Native American flute and instruments and so on, you definitely had a Native past life.
Guess what I play? Native American flute. I have a Native American flute, and I play it. I was in an art show, and I had a picture from the Southwest of a pony that was beside the road in Canyon du Chat. And we were both at this art show, and he was selling these flutes, and I wanted one.
Did he make them? He made them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're beautiful. I've had one. Yes,
Beautiful man, beautiful man. And so we made friends and through the whole show. And I was like, oh, I hope I make enough money that I can maybe buy a flute, right? So at the end of the show, last day, we're packing up and he walks in and I have this big canvas, right? Man, a lot of people wanted to buy it and never came back. He walks in and he goes, okay, we making a trade or what? And I'm like, you're going to trade me? And he goes, yes. And I said, oh my God, I'm going to get a flute. He says, yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
and then when he presented it to me, he said, this is a manifestation flute. You don't think of a song and don't try to play a song with this. When you
Right.
play this, go be out in nature.
Right.
Make sure your heart is pure when you play it. And he said, it is a manifestation flute. And that's what I do. And one time I was up in the Sawtooth by this lake, and this nice couple, they saw the flute and they're like, oh, could you come play Scarborough Fair for us? And I'm like, no, this is a manifestation flute. It's interesting because you get these songs that come through you and they're different every time. It's very powerful.
But they're beautiful. It's like like you're channeling. It comes through and just is beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, get out of here.
You don't want to sing it. Okay. That's okay. You don't have to, no pressure.
Yeah. I promise I'll do that at some time.
At some point on your own show.
She asked me to do that, and I told her I would do that. And then this came about, and that was the thing to do, was read that message. And that's
understood.
Yeah.
Understood. So Jalecia is new to some spiritual stuff, and she wonders, how do you discover any past lives they may have had?
Okay. Well, there are several ways. I would say, first of all, getting in touch with spirit is the most important thing before you even start. So have a meditation time and incorporate that in and say, this is a desire and intention I have to know my past lives. And then there are many, many good readers who can provide past life information. And I'm very excited about getting to know about this gentleman that Aley's talking about right now. And that's the way you go. You start your journey, but start with spirit first, and then you'll be led to the right people.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Yes. This man's coming on my show, and he's been on Andrea Lilac Lantern's show, and he's been on, I think he's been on Danny Shea's show as well. I'm not sure. Or maybe Nancy Jean's. Anyway, he does this, Akashic record search, and the Akashic records are a place where all of your information is stored for all lifetimes. It's supposedly like sort of like a big library in the sky, but there is no building, obviously. But I've had some really good experiences, and I actually went into a reading with my brother when he was alive. We wanted to know what lives we had shared together. And usually they don't do two people at the same time, but this lady did. And it was unbelievable. I mean, we saw each other in that life, what happened to each other. Like he had a wagon, he was on a mountain, and a wagon got loose from the horse and came down and knocked him off the mountain. And he saw that. It was just amazing. It really was.
What's
so
his name again?
Robert Brunges. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The one I just had, though, wasn't from him. It was when I lived in Virginia Beach, but Bob's great. Everybody that's
great. I'll watch.
Talk to him. Loves him. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. All right. Well, Aley, are we getting a little tight on time now?
We're getting a little tight, but that's okay.
I have something I wanted to show you.
Okay. Oh, you got one.
I got it for my birthday for my daughter.
I'm so glad. I got that too.
It lights up.
It lights up. You saw that I have one, right?
Yes,
yeah. Okay. Oh, it's so much fun. I'm glad you got one. I'll show you what else I got, but I'm trying to figure out which tarot reader might want it. Let's see. They had all kinds of stuff there this year they've never had before, which only shows how mainstream this is becoming.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I got one of these with a palm on it.
Oh, you got that one. That's beautiful.
But look at this. This is one I was going to show you. I got 4 of these just because they weren't that expensive. And if anybody that reads tarot.
Yay, look at that.
Look at that. Yeah.
Cool.
Tarot readings. Yeah. So Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, Ron, I know you had Brunges as well. You had a reading with Bob Brunges, Ron did. And so a lot of people have found him. And he is, there isn't anybody I've heard that is not happy with his work. So it's good to know.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, thank you, Terry. I'm glad you got one of those signs. I hope you have a marvelous birthday. And Terry's going to probably join us not tomorrow, but on Thursdays with Jean and the other Terry, possibly, for some readings when we do that at 3:30 Pacific time. So we'll keep you abreast of it. And I absolutely, I got those butterfly. I got those at Michael's. Those are all from Michael's. Yeah. What was I going to say? I'm sorry. I like to answer people's questions. Anyway, as soon as Terry goes up, I'll put her information up so you can also go over and sign up and help her out.
I'll spread the word when I open it up, and I'll offer some readings
Good.
at a reduced price at first, and we'll all get to know each other and
have
a journey together.
I can't wait. And I can't wait to come be on your channel with you when that happens.
Oh,
so awesome. Thank you, everybody in the chat and all the moderators that are working so hard for me.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you, Terry.
Namaste.
Namaste.